I'm grateful to be here. Obviously grateful to, share the space with Anthony, his family, and all the family and friends. Want to start off a little story time about our, career together. Obviously, we went to college at UCLA together, grew up 18 years old, roommates in college. But this story is from a London game. We played the Cleveland Browns, and if you know Anthony, you play with Anthony, you know he throws up before every game. Sorry to be nasty, but he throws up before every game, and he lays this towel down. He has this whole routine where he lays these towels down. It's all organized, and everyone's just doing their thing pregame, and he's just throwing up, whether it's right before the game or in the locker room. And this game, the Browns game, it's a little bit different schedule, whatever. I'm coming off the field somehow, and I'm sweaty, so I grab a towel off the ground, and I just wipe my face from top to bottom, just completely get covered with orange peel. I smell like a citrusy, it was like a citrusy kind of flavor, and realized that I had just used his towel from him, his pregame, routine, which, that's just a little story to show you how close we are and throughout this journey and break the ice a little bit. But no, seriously, Anthony Barr is a heck of a teammate. He's a captain on this team, 8th overall pick by Minnesota in 2014, 4-time Pro Bowler, 55 in the field, number 1 in our hearts, Anthony Barr.
That's a true story. It's disgusting, but it's true. My bad. All right. Well, first of all, I would like to apologize for having you all come here on Labor Day. My bad. I'm retiring on y'all's off day, and now I'm off forever. So thank you guys for joining me here. It's obviously really good to be back here. It's important to me to retire as a Viking because the community means so much. The franchise means so much. Franchise that changed my life. Coming here in May 2014 as a young boy, really trying to find his way, playing the game he loves his whole life, and got a chance to showcase his talents here. So I want to obviously thank you to the organization. I will start by thanking the Will family, specifically Ziggy and Mark. In my mind, the best owners in sports. And I say that because while they field a competitive team on the field year after year, they do that with awareness and class. I don't think any organization does it quite like the Will family does. They are progressive. They're active in the community. Their efforts are local, national, and global. And they've created a culture of winning here, a culture that people want to come from all over. Free agents love coming here. I know you guys see the end-of-year reviews. The Vikings are always number one just because of how well this organization is ran. So big shout out to the Will family. I also want to thank Mike Zimmer and Rick Spielman, the two people that played a big influence in my coming to Minnesota. Being drafted here as a 9th pick in 2014, they entrusted me with a lot. I had a lot of responsibility at the time. I remember actually in April of that year, before I got drafted, I was coming here for a top 30 visit, and this is when we were in Eden Prairie. And I was coming from California. I was in my T-shirt, my shorts, and I got off the plane and it's snowing. I'm like, oh damn! Like this place is different. I was like, okay, hopefully we don't come here because I'm not trying to be dealing with the snow in April. And then 6 weeks later, they called, and I was like, damn. But it ended up working out, and now I actually love the snow more than I do the heat. So that's kind of weird how that changed, being a Cali boy. But now I'm like full Minnesota. It's like, where's the snow? I could bring it on. So I do really appreciate Rick and Mike for obviously giving me the opportunity to play here. I do want to take a minute to thank the folks in the building that made my experience so special, from the training staff to the scouting department, strength coaches to the equipment room, PR staff, the kitchen, the front office, everyone in between. These are the people that kind of make this vehicle go. You guys are the heartbeat of this building. So thank you guys for making my experience and the experience of so many so amazing. There are a few people I'd like to recognize specifically. We'll start with Rob Brzezinski, Lester Bagley, Les Pico, Caitlin Zarecki, Matty D, Eric Sugarman, Rob Roach, Dave Jancy, Dennis Ryan, Terrell Barnes, Adam, Chad Lindeen, Dave Corris, Paul Martin, Chuck Peterson, Scott Studwell, Logan Johnson, Andrew Miller, Jeff Anderson, all my folks at VEN, Kayleen Ryder, Hillary Patzer, Mike and Adam Zimmer, Rick Spielman, Kevin O'Connell, Quessy, John Gannon, Nick Rawlis, Mark Uyama, Coach Uy, Derek Keys, Brett Tabor, Quinn Adams, John Ekstrom, Sam Newton, Lindsey Young, John Graves, Mary Redmond, George Payton, Tom West. I can go on and on, but these are just a few names that just really made my experience here what it was. And you guys are just first-class individuals, and thank you for welcoming me and my family here with open arms and making this experience so amazing. And that's a long list of names. I apologize, but those are the ones that kind of sat at the forefront of my mind. I would also like to thank my mom. My biggest supporter, my biggest fan since I was in Pop Warner. There she is right there. She's always been, the loudest one in the stands, even in Pop Warner. I remember her cheering my name, and I was like, please just don't take it down a little bit, But she was always very proud. My grandparents, obviously, as well. Drive me to practice, Pop Warner. I remember that song. I don't remember the song, but there's a song that was playing every time you drive me up that hill. I was like, it's time for practice. And the sacrifices you made to allow me to be here today, it kind of goes without being said, but I love you very much, and thank you for all your support through all these years. And I would also like to thank my fiance, Chelsea Mother, this beautiful woman standing right here. You didn't ask for this lifestyle. You kind of came in towards the end of my career. Your WAG era was great. I think you kind of thrived. You thrived in the WAG era. I'm sorry it was short-lived, but you were a great WAG. And I just thank you for jumping in and supporting me right away. You didn't hesitate. You didn't really know what this came with everything, but you were with me right when we were in Dallas and when we came back here, and you fit in with everybody. Everybody loves you. You're a girl's girl. You're my girl, and I love you very much. And I would like to thank some of my teammates that are here today. EK, Audie, Deho, Harry, wherever he is, Chad. You guys are my boys, man. You guys made this experience what it was. I think on the field, off the field, didn't kind of really matter. Even last night when we were just kind of catching up, it's just like picking up back from where we left off however many years ago. I couldn't have done this without you guys. I love you guys. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for being here today and kind of going through this roller coaster of life and football with me. So thank you guys. So yeah, that's kind of concludes most of everything. I know I don't live here full time. I think my work in the community will continue. Raise the bar. We're very active still in this community. I'm trying to help single parent families and their households achieve economic mobility is our end goal. But the Minnesota community does mean a lot, and just because I'm not living here doesn't mean I will not still be active in the community. That means so much to me. And in closing, yeah, football has given me more than I could have ever dreamed of. Means, obviously, for my family, but the relationships are really kind of what stand out. The people are what you remember the most. You remember the games, you remember the plays, the practices, and all that, but it's really the people that make this whole thing so special. So thank you for everybody that I have mentioned or I didn't mention. If I didn't mention you, I didn't forget you. Maybe I did forget you, but yeah, it's been a pleasure and a joy and an honor just to represent the Vikings and the NFL, and yeah, so thank you guys very much. Skol.
A few questions for Anthony?
Yeah, Anthony, when did the vomiting start?
Yeah, that wasn't until I got to the league. I felt like I don't know. Maybe my first game I was so nervous I just threw up, and then I threw up every game from there on out. Yeah, it kind of just stuck with me. Every game, even if nothing came out, I was still dry. Yeah, I know that's a little more graphic than you guys probably care to know, but yeah, it was a routine, and it's weird because people would start kind of gathering around, they knew it was time, and Harry would get real close, and I'm like, bro, you're in the splash zone, get some distance. But if you know him, he's weirdly strange and odd and disgusting, so kind of makes sense.
Anthony, when you were just reflecting on making this decision, what were you most proud of throughout your career?
Yeah, I think what I'm most proud of is kind of just the way I carried myself and went about being a pro football player. I think I held myself with class. Always respected the game, respected my teammates, opposition, my coaches. I came in the building. I never missed a meeting. I was never late for a meeting. I came in and just did things what I felt was the right way. And I'm proud to leave the game, and I feel a better place than I got. What I'm trying to say. So yeah, that's my answer.
What were some of the responsibilities Zimmer gave you right away as a young player?
Yeah, I think he entrusted me with communicating to the team. Some things that he maybe didn't feel comfortable saying, or there was maybe a disconnect from whatever that situation is, but he entrusted me with communicating to the guys, whether it's in the green dot or just a message that he may have had. I feel like we had a good line of communication, and I kind of understood what he was trying to say. Even when he couldn't say what he was trying to say, I kind of was able to figure out what he was trying to get at. So I think that just made our relationship really strong.
When did Minnesota really start to feel like home for you?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think, honestly, I started hanging out with Audie and Harry. And it's funny, Audie was like, man, like, I remember your draft night, and they called your name, and I was like, well, I'm out of a gig now, you know? And I was like, damn, my bad, bro. And he's like, I kind of didn't like you at first. And then we started hanging out. He's like, you're not too bad, you know? So maybe that might have been one of the more memorable moments, but it was just funny kind of how everything comes full circle.
Why did you come back in 2023 after being in Dallas for that 1 year?
Yeah, I think I had some options to go other places. I was actually in Philadelphia about to sign there when Minnesota called, and it was kind of like a no-brainer to me. It's just a place I like to be, and it's comfortable, it's familiar, and I really enjoy the way things are ran here, the structure of the organization, everything is. It just made sense at the time, and it still does. It's just like I'm a Viking. I just feel that in my heart and in my core. So there was really no. Once they called, I literally left from Philly. I was getting fitted for a helmet, and my agent called me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, let's go to Minnesota." So just like took it off and hopped on a plane, and it was kind of messed up, but it worked out. Yeah.
Were you on a tryout at the time in Philly, or were you like? You
No,
hadn't
I was
signed?
like about to sign. Like I was going up to the GMs, to sign the papers, and I went up there and I was like, plot twist. I'm actually about to head out. So thanks for everything. The 5 minutes I've been here, but I'm good.
Do you have a story about Eric that can rival what he just told about you?
No, I mean the thing about Eric is like he would shower before every game, and Edmund Robinson used to be on our team, and he was a linebacker, and Eric literally wouldn't go on the field until Edmund told him that his curls were popping. So I swear, he'd be like looking at Edmund like, and sometimes he'd forget and he'd be like, what? He's like, oh, my bad, your curls. They're popping. And then it was like, okay, and then he was ready to go. So he just needed that confirmation, that affirmation that he was looking good. And they're popping right now. I mean, look at them. Switch lanes, Coke Cream, go buy some.
What do you think just made your guys' connection so unique and special with you and Eric?
I think we have similar upbringings. I think similar morals and beliefs and just work ethic. And going through, like, college is not I think it is now, not a glamorous position to be in when you're trying to grind your way through it. And yeah, we got it out the mud. Like we would work out together, we'd go to class together. We really challenged each other, I think, on the field to be better, always trying to like one up each other in workouts and all that. And the competition made us really close, and we ended up living together for a couple of years in college. And then even in Minnesota, we lived in the same building for years. Now we live down the street. It's kind of weird, yeah. But it's cool, yeah.
Apartment shopping together. Eric's like, I found the place. I'm like,
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, not his wife, but me. Smart decision.
What games stood out to you, like the games you played in here?
The one that I always think of is the game up in Green Bay in 2015 where we clinched the NFC North, kind of the last second Rodgers Hail Mary where the clock expired, but they obviously let him get it off because it's kind of how they operate up there. And we ended up winning, and that ended up being our first NFC championship. And then going the next week, I think we played, I think that's when we lost to Seattle probably. So that's bittersweet, I guess, now that you bring that up. But that's a very memorable game. It was fun. It was cold. It was against our division rivals up at their place, knock them off to win the NFC North. That was one that stands out.
Did you feel like it went by fast?
Yeah, there are times, it goes by fast sometimes. Sometimes it feels like it takes forever. But definitely sitting here now, looking back, it's like we did all that. It's pretty cool, So it definitely flew by, but there are also times when you're in it where it feels like, man, this is a grind, So kind of both, yes and no.
What do you think about all the factors that have been part of your personal growth and development, and then how you relay that through the raised bar, like what really stands out or makes what you do there based on the experiences?
Yeah, well, it's just supporting people and giving others an opportunity that they may not otherwise have, I think is really important. And I was blessed to have a very strong support system and people that were allowed me to get to this point. And without so many people in my family, friends, I don't think I would be here. So me and my mom and our organization, we try to bridge that gap for families and give them a shot because everyone deserves, a chance at least. So obviously we can't affect everybody. There's only so many people we can help, but if you could help one, why wouldn't you?
Anthony, I talked to a Jeremiah program family this week, and the mom was talking about how thankful she is that her sons had a role model to look up to in you. Obviously, besides on the field, what piece does that mean to you? Just that there are kids out there who can look up to your character as well as your career.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's not something I think you think about sometimes when you're in it. But as you get further and further removed from that, I think you realize how important it is to be that. Because I think we all, once in our life, had a role model, whether it's our mom or parents or someone on the outside that we looked up to. And if I could be that for someone, I think that's pretty cool. I would love to inspire the next generation. And that's something I don't take lightly for sure.
When you were here in 23, what did you learn about Flores, Kevin O'Connell, kind of the state of the franchise and the leadership now?
Yeah, I really like where things are from obviously a more outside perspective now. But when I was here in 23, the leadership I think was exactly where it should be. I think kind of with the times that we're in now, I think they fit perfectly. I think Kevin O'Connell's a great leader, very good communicator, obviously a very smart guy. And very relatable, someone that you could go have lunch with and, have an easy conversation with, but also demanding and knows his X's and O's and knows what he wants from his guys. And with Flores, it was kind of crazy. There was no playbook, when I got here. It was just like, we just kind of made up this defense. I was like, all right, well, how do I learn it? He's like, I don't know, just go out there and figure it out, I was like, all right, sweet. So that was different, but it was really cool, and I think the guys he has the guys now in place to go out and play his type of ball, and I expect the defense to be solid.
Do you still watch Vikings games as part of your Sunday routine?
For sure, yeah. That first year I wasn't playing, it was kind of like bittersweet because I was kind of like, man, I wish I was out there. But now I'm to the point where I'm just so at peace with it, and it's all love, and I really enjoy watching games now. It's not stressful anymore. Well, sometimes it is, but most of the times actually with the Vikings, every game is stressful, seemingly. But it's now I can really be a fan and put my purple hat on and be a homer and really support the guys.
So what do you want to accomplish in the next phase? Are you and Eric going to start a podcast or something?
Well, I'm actually going to get married to my fiance, not Eric, which is maybe a surprise to some of you guys. But, so we'll start there and then, hopefully build a family and kind of go from there, yeah. I wouldn't mind doing a podcast. That'd be cool. But, maybe down the road. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.